Welcome to the Women Inspire Aspire podcast. In this episode, I talked to Subhalakshmi about space sciences. Hi, Subhalakshmi. Thank you for accepting my invite to appear in the podcast. How are you doing today?
Hi Venkat. At the outset, I thank you for having invited me. I am Subhalakshmi Krishnamoorthy from Bangalore.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to have you at the podcast. Can you tell us about your background, where you are from, what do you do, etc.?
I am a space scientist by profession. I come from the city of Trivandrum in Kerala. I was born and brought up in Trivandrum and I did my electronics engineering in Trivandrum. After that, I got posted as scientist in Indian Space Research Organization, Bangalore. I was fortunate to serve ISRO for nearly 4 decades and contribute to India's remote sensing satellites, navigation satellites, scientific and planetary missions. I was able to be part of 37 plus missions, including the milestone mission of ISRO, such as Chandrayaan-1, Chandrayaan-2, Mangalyaan, etc. I retired as Deputy Director of ISRO.
So, what do you do these days?
I am also a performing Carnatic vocalist because I started learning Carnatic music from the age of 5. I had given many programs, won many competitions, but a demanding career like a scientist working for ISRO with multiple launches. I had kept aside my musical aspirations, but all the same, I was trying to steal some time because of my passion. I was learning music, upgrading myself for getting grade in All India Radio Doordarshan. My first passion profession, space science, electronics. My second passion is music and singing. So after I retired from service, I am pursuing my second passion of music. Whatever I couldn't do earlier because of time constraints, family responsibilities, official responsibilities. So now I am able to spend more time on music. I am also part of review committees for the government, and that also gives me pleasure because I'm in touch with the subject.
That's fantastic. Let's talk a bit about your expertise in the satellites. What kind of tips or advices would you like to give to the people aspiring to pursue their career in satellites or space sciences?
Space science, when we all joined ISRO, there were hardly few female engineers. But nowadays the scenario is different. There are many women scientists and engineers. Our profession requires lot of involvement, dedication, passion and zeal for doing the work. We have to continuously update ourselves with the latest technology and what is happening elsewhere, how others are making satellite systems. Such things always makes us go to the library and read. Those days we didn't have internet. Nowadays we have internet. And another thing is, once the satellite goes to orbit, we cannot do anything, right? Well, unlike a gadget we bring home, like washing machine, fridge, microwave, something goes wrong, we can always repair. But the satellite we are sending to orbit, to the hostile environment of space, where it has to function for 7 years or 10 years or 15 years, depending on what is the purpose of the satellite. So then only the task is fulfilled. The satellite which we sent to space should work for that many years. Then it has accomplished its mission. So we have to work with efficiency, reliability, because every screw counts. If some small mistake happens, the effort of thousands of engineers, thousands of scientists, thousands of technicians, all their time and effort and the nation's money will be lost. We have to give our maximum efficiency and dedication to bring out a successful mission, whether it is rocket or satellite or ground segment.
Okay, when you talked about efficiency, it also involved precision because you mentioned that every nut, every bolt has to be carefully handled. So, what are some practical advices that you can give to maintain this precision, effectiveness, and efficiency when they are getting into their day to day work in this field?
Satellite building or rocket building is not a job of one or two persons. It involves many people. We have the management which assigns roles and responsibilities to various people. Some people manage the schedule, some people manage the quality, and some people manage the technology. Our job is whatever is assigned to us, we have to do within the time frame, because the launch date is fixed depending on various climate, winds, and many other parameters. We cannot change the launch date. So before the launch date, we have to deliver our systems, and those systems have to be subjected to a series of tests, because it has to withstand the temperature, vacuum, the gravity, and the vibration. Everything has to be tested and proven that nothing will fail when it reaches the orbit. We are all very proud of our work, because even though it is only a small percentage of big task, it counts, because we are doing something for the nation. Once the satellite goes up, many people are benefited, many processes are benefited. We take pride in doing this, and we look forward to working day and night. We don't mind working on holidays. If any challenging mission is coming, every new satellite is a challenge, because as time goes on, the demand increasing.
Thank you so much for sharing about your work. Now let's talk about your Carnatic interest. What exactly in Carnatic music are you pursuing these days?
As you know, Carnatic music involves continuous practice, updation, learning. Otherwise, we will not be in the game. The main thing is when you perform on stage and you get compliments and people come and tell you that your singing made me feel devoted, I could go to another realm. We feel so happy. That is a satisfaction we get. Carnatic music is also related to bhakti. Most of the Carnatic music concerts are held in temples and festivals and religious organizations. Of course, there are music sabhas which conduct these concerts. Music was part and parcel of me. So after I retired from service, I did an online course for 8 months on music therapy, and I became a government certified music therapist. This is only out of my interest. It has nothing to do with my singing or concerts, but I wanted to see the other application of music.
In terms of daily practice these days, what are you focusing on in Carnatic music?
I am well versed in 6 Indian languages, all the 4 South Indian languages, and Hindi and Sanskrit. There are many opportunities that came my way in terms of albums. I was fortunate to sing albums in 5 languages. That was the advantage of my having known 5 languages. I could fluently pronounce and understand the meaning and sing all those albums. And I also composed music for the lyrical part, not the background music, not the BGM which instruments play, but the singing part, the lyrical part, I composed music. The thing is, as a music therapist, I am working with an NGO. That NGO is treating autism children using music therapy. I spend few hours in a week helping those children to improve using music therapy.
Okay, let's talk about your hobbies and interests apart from Carnatic music.
I enjoy reading. Most of the time, it is something spiritual. Fiction also I read, and I'm very interested in art, rangolis and crafts, little bit of painting. That is not at a professional level, but an amateur level I keep doing. I also happen to publish one book titled as Today is Your Day. It contains curated quotes, motivational quotes and inspirational quotes, a compilation of 365 quotes, 1 quote per day. This is because when I was working at the HEM as deputy director, I had to motivate my team in adverse situations that don't lose heart, because we may have to put extra effort, extra hours and face challenges. At that time, motivation is very important. So I had collected very nice quotes. So after retirement, I thought, why not I compile them and publish them as a book? Some students, some researchers directors, some managers, they will find it useful. Something for the society also, I have my concerns. For example, I'm really sad when I see the amount of plastic that we are consuming in our day-to-day life. People are not mindful of the use of plastic. When you really think or analyze it, in many items we can dispense with the plastic. They are somehow creeping into every product in some way or other. So we are doing a gross injustice to Mother Earth. I don't have the authority to do something about it, but I really wish to get in touch with the authorities and try to curb the use of plastics in our day-to-day life.
Do you have any questions about me or about the podcast?
About the podcast, I find that there is a wide spectrum of personalities you are bringing that is definitely helping the audience, because everybody may not be interested in every subject. The number of aspiring women that you are bringing, it is definitely going to inspire the younger generation, especially the college students and upcoming professionals. It is definitely a commendable job that you are doing.
Thank you so much for your encouraging words. Please spread the word around about the podcast to all the people that you know, the younger generation, so that they all subscribe and listen to this podcast. I release a short every day, so it would be an inspiration to listen to the shorts.
By spreading word, the number of viewers will definitely increase. One point which I would like to tell the younger generation is nothing is impossible. If you apply your mind, you can manage 1 or 2 or 3 passion or profession. It's only a question of time management, your dedication. It is not difficult. This is the message I would like to give to the younger generation.
Thank you so much. That's very true. We'll be able to shine in as many professions as we can if we do the time management properly and put our minds in whatever we are doing. Thank you so much for spending time with us in the podcast and sharing your views. I wish you all the best in your life and whatever you aspire to do. Please take care and bye for now.
Thank you so much for this opportunity as well as for your nice words.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.
That was a great podcast with Subhalakshmi. Please subscribe to this channel and follow it for more awesome podcasts. Opinions expressed by the guests in this podcast are their own. The host or the sponsors of the podcast do not condone the opinions expressed by the guests or the actions arising out of those opinions. Any decisions or actions that the listeners might take as a result of listening to this podcast must be based on their own judgment and will be at their own risk. The podcast host or their sponsors will not be held responsible for the consequences of any actions and or decisions taken as a result of any content in this podcast.